Welcome to our channel. Now, if you're anything like me, you love a good vacation. The thrill of the unknown, the excitement of a new culture, the sheer panic of realizing you forgot to pack pants. But some destinations require a bit more risk assessment than others. Today, we're talking about the places where don't drink the water is the least of your worries. Based on the latest data from Global Guardian, we're diving into the top 10 most dangerous countries in the world. So buckle up, grab a snack, preferably not one sourced from these countries, and let's unpack why these nations currently top the charts in places you might want to avoid. First up, we have Afghanistan. Imagine a country where the phrase political instability is less a description and more of a permanent job title. Afghanistan is a place where the Taliban's back in charge, and they brought their rulebook with them. Next up, we have Syria. This is a country ravaged by civil war, where everyday life feels like the climax of a very depressing action movie. And just when you think it can't get any worse, you remember Bashar al-Assad is still in charge. South Sudan. Born from a decades-long struggle for independence, South Sudan seemingly missed the memo that peace is generally considered a desirable outcome. Instead, they went straight from fighting for freedom to fighting each other because apparently old habits die hard. Yemen, the land of ancient history. Stunning landscapes and a civil war so brutal it makes the 100 Years' War look like a minor disagreement over a parking space. This is a country where going outside is basically an extreme sport, and the only thing spreading faster than misinformation is cholera. And as if the constant threat of airstrikes and famine wasn't enough, you've got terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS just hanging out. Iraq. Just saying the name conjures images of desert landscapes, ancient civilizations, and, oh right, the never-ending aftermath of a certain ill-advised invasion. Years of conflict have left the country scarred, with violence and terrorism as commonplace as traffic jams in Los Angeles. Somalia, a land synonymous with stunning coastlines, resilient people, and unfortunately, pirates. But while the pirates might get the headlines, they're just one symptom of a much larger problem. Somalia is the very definition of a failed state. Decades of conflict have left the country in a perpetual state of chaos, with a government so weak it makes a wet paper bag look like Fort Knox. Next up, we have the Central African Republic, a country that's about as centrally located in the conversation about global stability as I am in a ballet recital. This is a place where the words violence and instability aren't just buzzwords. They're practically the national motto. Imagine a country where armed groups roam free, the government's barely holding on by its fingernails, and the only thing growing faster than the refugee crisis is the sense of impending doom. Libya, a land of ancient history, vast deserts, and a political situation that's messier than a teenager's bedroom after a sleepover. Since the fall of Gaddafi, Libya's been stuck in a perpetual loop of violence and instability. Imagine a country with two governments, both claiming to be legitimate, both vying for power, and neither seeming particularly concerned with things like basic human rights. The Democratic Republic of the Congo. It's got democratic right there in the name, which is ironic considering it's about as democratic as a banana republic run by a particularly power-hungry chimpanzee. This is a country where violence is so ingrained in the fabric of society, it's practically considered a national pastime. Last but certainly not least, we have Venezuela, a country that could have been a paradise, but instead chose the scenic route through economic collapse, political turmoil, and a healthcare system that's about as effective as a band-aid on a bullet wound. Once upon a time, Venezuela was the envy of Latin America, with vast oil reserves and a booming economy. Now it's a cautionary tale about what happens when you mix socialist policies with rampant corruption and a complete disregard for basic economics. And there you have it, folks, the top 10 most dangerous countries in the world according to people who are paid to assess these sorts of things and presumably have excellent therapy coverage. So the next time you're feeling adventurous, maybe just try that new Ethiopian restaurant down the street. Stay safe, everyone.